A zero-carb beer, built for Aussie blokes who still want to drink like blokes, launched by two comedians who built their brand pretending to be unemployed, somehow becomes one of the biggest independent beer stories in the country. Not a heritage brewery, not a multinational war chest, no decades of craft credentials, just a can that promised zero carbs and a marketing engine that didn't look like marketing. In under 4 years, Better Beer sold 100 million cans and generated more than $95 million in retail sales in a single year, while the rest of the beer world was watching margins collapse and craft brands quietly disappear. This is how Better Beer happened, how the Inspired Unemployed helped catapult it, and how in alcohol, attention can be worth more than the liquid. The year is 2021. Beer is one of the most unforgiving categories on earth. If you're not owned by a giant, you're fighting for space in a fridge that's already spoken for. And even if you get the space, you're fighting for the one thing no one can buy in bulk: habit. Because in alcohol, people don't choose logically, they choose automatically. Same store, same aisle, same carton, same weekend. So when Better Beer was being put together, it faced 3 problems that kill most new alcohol brands before they ever get a second order. First, the market is overcrowded. Walk into any bottle shop and the fridge is stacked with premium, smooth, refreshing, crafted, brewed longer, award-winning. Every label says the same thing in different fonts. Second, even if you make something decent, nobody can taste your way into scale if they can't find you. In alcohol, distribution isn't a bonus, it's oxygen. Third, attention is brutally expensive. The beer giants have the billboards, the stadiums, the discounts, the end caps, the sponsorships, the prime fridge placement, and if you try to outspend them, you die faster. So Better Beer needed a shortcut, not a clever slogan, a structural advantage. And the advantage wasn't the beer, it was the people attached to the beer. Better Beer was built with Ford Jack Steele, the Inspired Unemployed, alongside drinks operator Nick Cogger. Back before launch, the project was described publicly as a joint venture, with the Inspired Unemployed holding 40% and Torquay Beverage Co. holding 60%. That same early announcement spelled out what really mattered. They weren't just famous, they had millions of followers, and their humor landed hard with the exact demographic alcohol brands spend their lives trying to capture. But follower count isn't the secret, trust is the secret. Most influencer alcohol is borrowed attention, loud for a week, forgotten the next. Better Beer didn't feel borrowed. It felt native, like it came from the same group chat you were already in. And that's how you sneak past the part of the brain that hates advertising. Better Beer's first big move was positioning. Not craft, not premium, not small batch, not award-winning, just better. A simple promise, a mainstream lager experience, but with a nutrition panel that looked like it belonged in 2024 instead of 2004. The brand has been described by partners as zero carb, zero sugar, low calorie, a healthier alternative built for people who still want the ritual of beer without the baggage. And that's the genius. In a fridge full of taste notes, Better Beer didn't sell complexity, it sold permission. Permission to drink beer while feeling like you made a slightly smarter decision, without becoming a different kind of person. Because the worst thing you can do in alcohol is make the customer feel judged. Better Beer didn't judge, it winked. Then came the second move. It turned comedy into distribution. People think marketing is persuasion. In alcohol, marketing is repetition. The brands that win aren't always the best. They're the ones you see so often that your brain stops questioning them. Psychologists call it the mere exposure effect. The more you see something, the more familiar it feels, and the more you trust it, without even realizing that's what's happening. Most beer brands try to buy that repetition with ads. Better Beer manufactured it with content, because the Inspired Unemployed didn't promote Better Beer like a typical celebrity endorsement. They integrated it into the same chaotic, self-aware, battler-style humor that made them famous in the first place. They were the product's tone of voice, and tone is everything. Better Beer's CEO later credited their distinctive marketing approach, saying they don't take themselves too seriously and that it resonates with people. That matters because alcohol isn't sold as a liquid, it's sold as a feeling. A brand that feels like a corporate meeting can have a perfect product and still lose. A brand that feels like your mates can sell a simple lager and become a habit. But viral content alone doesn't build an alcohol company. You can't drink a TikTok. So Better Beer had to solve the unsexy part: availability. And this is where the story gets less two comedians got lucky, and more this was built properly. Before launch, national ranging was part of the plan. The early public announcement said there was national ranging confirmed in 1,500 plus stores from October 2021. That's not normal for a new brand. That's a signal that the founders understood the real battlefield: shelves, fridges, and repeat purchase. Fast forward to the numbers that made the industry stop laughing. By November 2025, Better Beer reported it had sold 100 million cans since launch, November 2021. In the same reporting window, it was credited with more than $95 million in retail sales over the past year, and 12 million liters sold across the portfolio. And it had built distribution across 7,600 plus retailers nationwide, including major chains and independents. That's the moment a brand stops being a content product and becomes a national competitor. SmartCompany also reported Better Beer had become Australia's second largest independent branded beer, behind Cooper's. And here's the part most people miss. That scale doesn't happen if you're just winging it. It happens when your marketing is loud and your operations can keep up. By March 2023, around 18 months after launch, Better Beer was already being discussed like a serious growth business. On track for $45 million in revenue that financial year, and looking to raise $20 million to fuel expansion. That's not a merch drop. That's an alcohol company dealing with manufacturing, supply, stock, retailer terms, freight, and the constant pressure of staying in the fridge once you're there. And the manufacturing side had weight behind it. Casella Family Brands later stated the Better Beer portfolio had been produced at Casella's Yenda Brewery since 2021, and in December 2024 announced a distribution agreement to distribute the Better Beer portfolio in Australia, while Better Beer continued to own and manage the brand. Translation: Better Beer wasn't built on vibes alone. It had a serious production base and then a serious distribution partner to keep it moving. That's what separates a brand that spikes from a brand that stays. Now, every alcohol story has a moment where the outside world tries to rewrite the narrative. Better Beer's moment came through the chaos around Mighty Craft. Mighty Craft was tied into the early Better Beer structure and later held a stake through Better Beer Holding Co. arrangements described in its reporting. Then in July 2024, Mighty Craft appointed voluntary administrators and publicly stated that a proposed merger involving Better Beer Holdings had been central to its restructuring plans, but now appeared unlikely to be agreed, contributing to the administration outcome. That kind of headline kills fragile brands. Because fragile brands are built on narrative. Once the narrative changes, the sales change. But Better Beer kept moving. By late 2025, Business News Australia explicitly noted Better Beer had defied challenges in the sector, including the collapse of former major shareholder Mighty Craft, as it hit the 100 million cans milestone and 95 million plus retail sales year. That's the difference between attention and traction. Attention is when people talk about you. Traction is when people buy you, even when the story around you gets messy. So why did the comedy matter so much? Because in alcohol, the decision is emotional and social before it's sensory. Most people aren't running blind taste tests in their backyard. They're grabbing something that fits the moment they want. A barbecue, a weekend, a boat, a knockoff, a party, I'll be good phase. Better Beer didn't just sell zero-carb. It sold a version of the customer that felt slightly upgraded, without feeling preachy. And the Inspired Unemployed were the perfect delivery vehicle, because their whole persona is anti-pretension. They sell relatability. They sell, we're not better than you. Which means when they attach themselves to a better beer, the message doesn't feel like a lecture. It feels like a joke you can drink. And jokes spread faster than ads. Business News Australia also highlighted Better Beer's growing social footprint in liquor, noting hundreds of thousands of followers across platforms and pointing to the brand's early marketing featuring Ford and Steele as a key driver. Again, not just followers. A media machine, attached to a product you can buy at Dan Murphy's. By 2025, Better Beer wasn't just big, it was forecasting bigger. Reporting around the milestone said Better Beer expected volume growth of 20% in FY26, targeting more than 14 million liters annually. And that's when you realize what actually happened here. Better Beer didn't win by convincing beer drinkers to change their taste. It won by meeting them where they already were and giving them a better excuse to stay there. Mainstream taste, mainstream vibe, mainstream availability. But with a modern story, I can still drink beer and not feel like I got hit by a carb truck. So if you're watching this on Bottle Rank, here's the real takeaway. Not a lesson, not a checklist, just the truth behind the brand. Better Beer proved that in alcohol, the fastest growth engine isn't always better liquid. It's better distribution of attention. The Inspired Unemployed didn't just promote a beer. They made a beer feel culturally inevitable. And once a product becomes culturally inevitable and physically available, the results stop looking like marketing. They start looking like numbers. 100 million cans, 95 million plus retail sales in a year, 600 plus stores, second largest independent branded beer in Australia. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to Bottle Rank, because this channel isn't reviews. It's the real business and psychology behind the bottles, cans, and brands you see everywhere. And if there's another alcohol brand you want dissected, spirits, RTDs, celebrity drinks, brewery empires, comment it below. I'll see you in the next one.